Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Juvenal, for your words. And now I'm pediatric cardiologist, now surgeon. And today I'm going to talk about experience in pediatric heart transplantation, and I hope you enjoy with my talk. And I apologize my level of English. I'm going to try to understand everything I say. I have no disclosures. And this is of my, and I modify some themes about prior content, but I hope I want to give information about the new advancing in pediatric heart transplant. What's heart transplant? Heart transplant is the surgical implantation of a human heart called donor into another human individual called recipient who suffers severe heart dysfunction without the possibility of improvement with quality of life with other treatments. Pediatric means patients who receive a heart transplant under 18 years old. Heart transplantation improves quality of life and other heart organs transplant, and the heart transplant has a limited survival. 50% of patients will require a retransplant 20 years post first heart transplant. 3 days after Christian history by performing the first human-to-human heart transplant in 1967, performed the first pediatric heart transplant in a baby with congenital heart disease. 20 years later, transplanted a baboon heart in an infant with hypoplastic left heart syndrome at Loma Linda in California in 1984. Baby Faye survived only 20 days, but her story paved the way for human-to-human heart transplantation as the primary therapy for infants born with a life-threatening congenital heart disease. The International Thoracic Organ Transplant Registry of International Society for Heart and Lung Transplantation is the large source of worldwide data on thoracic organ transplant, include adult and pediatric heart and lung transplant activity. And the United States is the country with the highest volume in heart transplant. In pediatric heart transplant, the global activity is more than 14,000 procedures with 600 or 700 procedures a year, and baby under 1 year, 100 transplants a year. According to data from Spanish Pediatric Heart Transplant, according to data Spanish Heart Transplant Registry, our global activity is more than 700 procedures with 30 a year, distributed in 6 centers. 20% in babies under 1 year, 30% with congenital heart disease, and ABO incompatible in DCD heart transplant. Its pediatric heart transplant activity in 1990 and currently accounts for of pediatric heart transplant volume in Spain. Our program is characterized by a high percentage of transplants in congenital heart disease, especially in hypoplastic left heart syndrome, in babies under and our pioneers in the implementation of pediatric heart transplant programs in Spain. Our global activity babies, especially for babies in adult heart now is called ischemic. But in pediatric heart transplant, congenital heart disease is different with adult, and dilated cardiomyopathy represent 80% of all recipients. This is the imaging of dilated cardiomyopathy with left ventricle dilated, and hypoplastic left heart syndrome with left ventricle undeveloped is the most common indication for heart transplantation in congenital heart disease, more often after cardiac surgeries currently. When is a heart transplant necessary? A heart transplant is necessary when the patient has symptoms and clinical signs of severe heart failure, called functional class 3-4, and there is no other treatment that can improve their condition. It is very important with quality of life. The heart transplant is a treatment, not the last treatment. It's very important when a patient needs a heart transplant. When the patient suffers cardiomyopathy, hypertrophic is not often indication, but some patients with chest pain, with exercise or at rest, dyspnea and uncontrolled malignant arrhythmias needs a heart transplant. It's always mandatory to measure pulmonary pressure and resistance at the moment of diagnosis before risking for heart transplant. It's necessary a patient heart transplant when then has symptoms in at rest or exercise, and majority of patients has hypoxemia with saturation 80%, 75%, okay, and more dyspnea, more severe status clinic. In some patients, protein losing enteropathy after Fontan surgery determines growth delay, hypoproteinemia. Nowadays, lymphatic disorders and more knowledge about lymphatic disorders is changing this indication. Mechanical support is used during the waiting list time to stabilize and improve his clinical status when it's necessary. ECMO, this is a support, short-term support, lasts 1 month and no more, with pump and oxygenator support heart and lung, especially used in babies and congenital heart disease. And ventricular assist device is a medium-term support, lasts months, and you can support left ventricle or both ventricles. And this is a pump and Berlin heart. In Spanish, and our Spanish experience, the number of patients with BSD is, as a bridge to heart transplant is increasing in the last decades. And this support and BSD are used more often in dilated cardiomyopathy, and ECMO is used more often in congenital heart disease. Pediatric heart transplant surgery consists of the explantation of the recipient heart and the replacement with a donor heart into the mediastinum. The anastomosis are performed between donor and recipient at level of left atrium, pulmonary artery, aorta, and right atrium. Right atrium in biatrial technique, or cava veins in bicava technique. The size between the donor and the recipient must be taken into account due to a limited thoracic cavity size, and with ratio usually 2:1:1 or 2:1. Ischemia time in heart transplants refers to the duration between donor aortic cross clamp and reperfusion in the recipient. 4 hours is the critical threshold, and beyond which the risk of early graft dysfunction and mortality, and the latest technologies that can safely extend acceptable ischemia times and improve outcomes in heart transplant, especially hypothermic oxygenated machine perfusion. And this technique is trial in adults using adult donors, showing a significant reduction in primary graft dysfunction and safe preservation of the donor hearts for up to 9 hours, including those from extended criteria. This is imaging biatrial technique. This is the anastomosis, right atrial, donor and recipient, and aorta and pulmonary. And bicava technique, this is the anastomosis, superior cava vein and inferior cava vein, aorta and pulmonary. Surgery in pediatric heart transplant with congenital heart disease is a complex procedure and with high mortality. Why these patients have congenital anomalies of systemic venous return that make difficult the cannulation during the procedure. These patients has congenital anomalies of the aortic arc and require surgical reconstruction during the surgery with longer ischemia time. Resternotomies, vessels, collaterals, more bleeding, material used during cath lab procedures make difficult the cannulation, and bleeding due to coagulation disorders in congenital heart disease, and ischemia times are longer, and ECMO support is more often required due to primary graft dysfunction. So a surgical team with experience in congenital heart disease surgery is necessary to perform this type of transplant. To prevent the rejection, the recipient must take the immunosuppression. It's mandatory to take it daily. And drugs used in pediatric heart transplant are similar to other transplants, tacrolimus or cyclosporine, mycophenolate plus corticoids with withdrawal at 6 to 12 months post-transplant, unless there is a history of rejection. And the high-risk period of acute rejection is the first year or post-transplant, especially 3 months. and established doses and adequate levels of immunosuppression should be kept. Some centers also use induction therapy to prevent rejection and to delay the start of tacrolimus or cyclosporine to reduce renal toxicity, and the induction therapy use are similar to other transplants with basilizumab, dalizumab, and ATG-ALG. And the most common toxicity related with these drugs are nephrotoxicity with tacrolimus or cyclosporine, neutropenia with mycophenolate, and corticoids, hypertension. 1 year post-transplant survival has improved, and 80% and nowadays 90%, especially in dilated cardiomyopathy. And risk factors associated with higher 1-year mortality are diagnosis of congenital heart disease, support with ECMO prior to heart transplant, ventilator support prior to heart transplant, renal dysfunction, PRA higher, and longer ischemia time. Median graft survival, 15 years, and according stratified by age, a median graft survival was highest in infants under 1 year, 20% almost, and neonatal 90%. In Spanish pediatric heart transplant, we have an improvement of survival, but survival 1 year in congenital heart disease is worse than dilated cardiomyopathy and due to a higher early mortality. And this is our survival. And by 10 years post-transplant, 60% of pediatric heart transplant recipients had received retransplantation, and by 20 years post-transplant, 14% of pediatric heart transplant recipients have received a retransplantation. The leading causes of death are acute rejection, infection, especially in the first years for heart transplant, and 10 or more years post-transplant, CAB, coronary artery disease, is the main problem, and graft failure during the period, all the period. The leading cause of morbidity in pediatric heart transplant are rejection, acute rejection, cardiac allograft vasculopathy, coronary disease, renal dysfunction, and malignancy. Cardiac rejection causes heart dysfunction and must be detected as soon as possible. It is most common in the first year post-transplant, and the global incidence of treated rejection from hospital discharge to 1 year post-transplant continuing to decrease. 30% the recipients were treated for rejection during first year post-transplant. And the types of rejection are cellular, humoral, similar to other transplants. Cellular rejection is named T-cell mediated rejection, is characterized by infiltration of the myocardium by T lymphocytes, leading to myocyte injury and necrosis. And there is a classification, the International Society for Heart and Lung Transplantation, and this is 2R or more or higher is considered clinically significant and warrants treatment. Humoral rejection occurs when recipient antibodies target donor antigens human leukocyte antigen molecules expressed on the vascular endothelium of the transplant heart. And these antibodies, DCA, activate the complement, resulting in endothelial injury, microvascular inflammation, and in severe cases, microvascular thrombosis and myocyte necrosis. And the diagnosis is difficult and is supported by histological findings and immunostaining for complement products and macrophage markers. Humoral rejection is associated with acute graft dysfunction, hemodynamic compromise, increased risk of transplant coronary disease, and mortality. And the diagnosis is difficult sometimes. Cardiac biopsy is the most reliable method for early detection of rejection, and a protocol of several biopsies should be performed. But cardiac biopsy is an invasive procedure and requires vascular venous access, and thrombosis of vascular access due to prior surgeries is a limiting factor to do biopsies, especially in congenital heart disease transplant, and no invasive methods using donor-derived cell-free DNA plays a key role as a non-invasive biomarker for detecting rejection post 6 months heart transplant, and can be used to monitor for subclinical rejection. And this method has a high negative predictive value, 99%, and reduce significant the need for routine biopsies. The diagnosis of rejection, especially humoral rejection, can be difficult using conventional histological methods, and new molecular diagnostic techniques are being implemented. This is the only slide in Spanish, sorry. The treatment of rejection consists in increasing immunosuppression using corticoids and antibodies, anti-lymphocytes, ALG and ATG in severe rejection. And in humoral rejection, it is necessary to eliminate antibodies using plasmapheresis or immune adsorption. Antibodies such as rituximab, daratumumab, and bortezomib. Cardiomyopathy vasculopathy continues to be a major morbidity and cause of graft loss in pediatric heart transplant patients. Nearly 50% of patients, heart transplant patients, have developed CMV by 15 years post-transplant. CMV is caused by progressive thickening of the coronary vascular wall with narrowing of the vessel lumen, which leads to blood flow impairment and ischemic consequences such as graft failure, arrhythmias, or sudden death. Cardiac transplantation is the only treatment in severe forms of CMV. There is a high mortality rate in all age groups within 5 years of the CMV diagnosis. And due to the latent nature during the early disease, screening for CMV is suggested in heart transplant recipients, especially during the first 5 years after heart transplantation. In patients should be performed annually or biannually with using coronary angiography to assess the development of CMV. And the main issue with angiography is that only the vessel lumen, but not the vessel wall, can be opacified by contrast media. And intravascular ultrasound is a technique this technique detect the CMV this technique allows for visualization of the vascular layers and can delineate the feathers of CMV, including concentric thickening, positive and negative remodeling using ultrasound. This is a catheter into the coronary vessel. Is more sensitive in the early detection of CMV than angiography, but this technique is only possible in older children. But non-invasive procedure is necessary because in patients who needs arterial access is not possible, or you can produce damage, or you don't have access. And nowadays coronary CT can be used in pediatric heart transplant, but this technique is only used to detect macrovascular disease in coronary vessels more than 2 millimeters. Other techniques using coronary flow reserve can be evaluate the presence and severity of CMV, particularly for early detection in patients symptomatic who do not present with visible angiograph narrowing. Renal dysfunction, severe renal dysfunction with need dialysis or renal transplant is uncommon in pediatric heart transplant recipients, but increase over time. And in adults, these patients can be kidney heart transplant in a new transplant. And nephrotoxicity associated with the use of tacrolimus or cyclosporine is an important factor contributing to renal dysfunction. The risk of developing malignancy increases over time post-transplant, with 16% of survivors developing a malignancy by 15 years post-transplant, and the vast majority of malignancies are lymphomas. PTLD is a heterogeneous group of lymphoid proliferations that occur as a complication of immunosuppression following solid organ or hematopoietic stem cell transplantations. And PTLD encompasses a spectrum from benign polyclonal lymphoid hyperplasia to aggressive lymphomas. Most pediatric PTLD cases are driven by Epstein-Barr virus infection, particularly in children who are seronegative at the time of transplant, acquired primary infection under immunosuppression post-transplant. Clinical presentation is highly variable, including lymphadenopathy isolated, extranodal involvement in gastrointestinal lungs or CNAs, or systemic symptoms. Diagnosis requires histopathological confirmation and classification in early lesions, polymorphic, monomorphic, most commonly B cells, Burkitt, diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, and Hodgkin lymphoma like PTLD. Treatment begins with reduction in immunosuppression, which can be enough for early or less aggressive disease. And for B-cell PTLD, use rituximab is standard, and chemotherapy is reserved for refractory or aggressive cases. And it's very important to Epstein-Barr virus viral load monitoring. This monitoring is used for surveilling in high-risk patients. These patients with negative pre-transplant and positive suffer infection post-transplant. The patients do not always respond to standard treatment options or might relapse after initial response, leading to poor outcomes. In these patients, nowadays, tabelecleucel is the first of therapy, T-cell specific Epstein-Barr virus specific T-cell immunotherapy for patients with treatment is okay, but relapse or refractory disease in PTLD, Epstein-Barr virus positive. Heart transplantation between donors and recipients with incompatible blood groups is contraindicated. Why? Because of the high risk of hyperacute rejection. In such a reaction occurs when persisting serum anti-A or anti-B antibodies, isohemagglutinins in the recipient, bind to their respective blood group antigens on vascular endothelial cells of the donor organ. The heart results in activation of complement cascade and thrombosis, coronary thrombosis, and death at the moment of the implantation. But infants with a severe cardiac disease often die before transplantation because of the shortage of donor hearts. This is a splendid report, and you can see the patients with less than 10 kilograms. The mortality during waiting list is 20%, more or less. And newborn infants do not produce isohemagglutinins, and serum anti-A or anti-B antibody titers usually remain low until the age of 1 year. Furthermore, the complement system is not fully competent in young infants, and so the primary factors that would initiate hyperacute rejection are absent during early infants. So ABO incompatibility transplantation would be safe during early infancy. This opportunity was discovered by Dr. Laurie West, and when he was working in Hospital for Sick Children, Toronto, she performed the first experience in ABO incompatible heart transplant in infants. And the strategy was since January 1996, parents or fetus and infants referred to cardiac transplantation at this hospital in Toronto have been offered the heart from the first available donor of compatible size and regardless of blood type, and they compare the results incompatible donors heart transplant, and they discover ABO incompatible heart transplant can be performed safely during infancy before the onset of isohemagglutinins production, and this technique contributes to marked reduction in mortality among infants on the waiting list. So the strategy to access ABO blood group incompatible donor hearts for neonates and infants is donor for these patients, infants, will be allocated giving priority to urgency, severe stack clinic, regardless of blood group compatibility. And with this strategy, they discovered significant, and they demonstrated a significant reduction on mortality during waiting list time, okay, and higher probability to be transplanted, 5 to 50%. Our first experience in Spain in January 2018 in a baby with congenital heart disease. And in April 2018, Spanish allocation criteria were modified, and donors less than or equal 15 kilograms will be allocated, giving priority to urgency regardless of blood group compatibility. This is our particular characteristics. Heart transplantation is carried out using donors after brain death, DVD donors called. Heart transplantation in children using donors after circulatory death, DC donors, is an emerging approach aimed at expanding the donor pool and reducing waiting and mortality time and wait list time and mortality wait list time. This DCD heart transplantation relies on advanced organ preservation methods such as normothermic regional perfusion or ex situ perfusion, who allow for recover the beating heart and functional assessment of the heart prior to transplantation. And these techniques enable successful transplantation even in small children. Outcomes using DCD donors show that indicate that short-term survival and post-transplant outcomes for pediatric DCD heart recipients are comparable to those for donation after brain death recipients. First experience in pediatric heart transplant was in Denver and published in New England in 2008 using local donor in the same hospital with using direct procurement and reservation. In Australia experience, using no local donor and direct procurement and using perfusion ex vivo with similar survival in DVD and DCD heart transplant. And UK experience using normothermic regional perfusion to recover the beating heart and functional heart and evaluation prior to transplantation, and ex vivo perfusion with similar survival. Our first experience in Spain was in pediatric heart transplant was in 2021 in a receptor and baby with dilated cardiomyopathy on no local donor and AVO incompatible donor using normothermic regional perfusion and cold ischemia time 4 hours. Dr. Gil Jaurena is leader in this technique, and this is our patient. In Spanish experience in heart transplant using DCD donors is increasing in the last years, and today from 2021 now 2024 and now 10 procedures in 2024, and I think this heart transplant is going to increase in the next years. And what is the problem in heart transplant and solid organ transplantation? is the limited survival is necessary, achieving indefinite survival of the transplanted heart to achieve tolerance. Regulatory T cells play a central role in transplantation by promoting immunotolerance to allografts and suppressing rejection responses. In early phase clinical trials have shown that this transfer is safe and may facilitate decrease in immunosuppression, although efficacy is still under study. We are participated in this clinical trial. Main investigator is Rafael Correa Rocha. Is babies under 2 years in the moment of years old in the moment transplant, and using Tregs obtained from thymus during the surgery and infused at the 7th day for heart transplant, 7 to 10 days for transplant. I think is a good, splendid trial, and we have we have is a good opportunity this cellular therapy to achieve this tolerance in our patients. And partial heart transplantation is a recent novel surgical procedure in which only a segment of donor heart is transplanted into a recipient rather than the whole heart. This approach is primarily indicated in pediatric patients with irreparable congenital valve dysfunction, where conventional valve implants are inadequate due to their inability to grow with the child and their associated morbidity, and for repeated reoperations. And the procedure is most commonly applied to semilunar valves, aortic and pulmonary valves, but may be extended to other cardiac structures in the future. The transplanted valve segment retains viable cells, allowing for growth and self-repair, which is particularly advantageous in infants and young children. And immunosuppression is required to maintain graft viability and growth, and with less severe than lower level of immunosuppression than full heart transplantation. This is the first experience in April 2022 in Durham, North Carolina, USA, performed by Joseph Turek in a patient with congenital heart disease called truncus arterioso, with only this congenital heart disease consisting of only one arterial truncus, and this valve in dysfunction, severe dysfunction, and this patient no need whole transplants, only aortic and pulmonary valve. This is the transplant in this patient, and this center published his early experience in circulation in 2025. And donors for partial heart transplant, you can have a donor heart, provides an aortic and pulmonary living root that is then transplanted into 2 separate recipients. And donor tissue for partial heart transplantation can be sourced from hearts unsuitable for full transplantation with heart function no good, or from explanted hearts of transplant recipients with functional valves, pulmonary aortic okay, and these valves from the recipient are used for these patients for partial heart transplant in other patients, expanding the donor pool and improving organ utilization. This is first experience in partial heart transplantation in Spain in November 2025 in a baby, 7 months, and weighs 6 kilograms, with diagnosis congenital heart disease tetralogy of Fallot with pulmonary atresia. This valve is not possible replace, and this is the pulmonary valve after the repair surgery. And you can see the valve pulmonary in the right ventricle. This is the pulmonary in this patient, and this is the moment of the surgery. And the donor was a neonate with pulmonary valve adequate, and DCD donor and AVO incompatible. In conclusion, heart transplantation is a treatment for children with severe heart failure. The indications on congenital heart disease and cardiomyopathy. The immunosuppression is mandatory. AVO incompatible heart transplant can be performed safely during infancy and contributes to a marked reduction in mortality among infants on the waiting list. To increase volume donors, heart transplantation using DCD donors is a recent option. Heart transplantation has a limited survival, and replantation is necessary. I think T-Rex is a good option to use in clinical trials to achieve indefinite survival, and partial heart transplant is a good option opportunity. Babies who need replacement valves, pulmonary aortic valves. Thank you very much.